14.
Good afternoon, I'm Rachel, and this is our survey on internet addiction. This is our catalog, and we have three main parts. The first part is a brief background of interviewees, and our second part is the survey, and our last part is the conclusion and advice. Our motives for the question are to understand the internet usage of the Generation Z around the globe. As you can see from the pie chart, most of our interviewees are from Southeast Asia, and we don't have any from Australia or Africa. These are three of our interviewees. They're all from Malaysia, and they're 19, and all from international business. Next, we have three from Indonesia, and the one eating the prize is from international business, and the one on the right is from risk management. And we have Linda from France. She majors in economics, and Fami from Thailand. She majors in diplomacy, and they're both 23 years old. And we have Bob from Vietnam. He majors in international business, and Rodrigo from Bolivia majors in law, and Keith from Belize majors in business administration. And unfortunately, we don't have two people's pictures, and one is from Germany and one is from Japan.
Question 1 is about how many digital devices they own now. And from the pie chart, we can see that everyone owns at least one device. And more than a quarter of interviewees own more than 4 devices. So we think that it's a common phenomenon for college students to own several digital devices. And question 2 is how long do you use your digital devices per day on average? And we can see that everyone uses their digital devices for at least 2 to 3 hours every day. And 70% of people use more than 4 hours of digital devices per day. So if you use more than 4 hours, you don't need to worry too much because many people are like you. And question 3 is what do you usually do with your computer or laptop? And list the top 3 activities in order of frequency. And we added the amount of people in this bar chart. And we can see that the top 3 activities that they use with their computer or laptops the most is using the social media and watching YouTube or communicating. And question 4 is what do you usually do with your mobile phone? List as many activities and arrange them in the order of frequency. And the result is quite similar with question 3. The top 3 activities are still social media, communication, and YouTube. And there are some other activities that differ from the last questions, such as shopping and stocks and assistance apps. Question 5 is how do you feel when you are unable to find your mobile phone? So from this chart, we can see a lot of negative answers. And only 10% of people say that they feel nothing when they are unable to find their mobile phone. And the other 90% of interviewees gave us negative answers, such as anxious, unsettled, bored, and helpless, and so on. Nobody said that they feel happy or relaxed. And question 6 is, how often do you call your close friends or family members via apps? From this chart, we can see that only 10% of people never calls their close friends or family members. And 33% of people calls for at least 1 to 3 times a week, and 16% of people calls for 3 to 5 times a week. And the other 38% of people calls for 5 times or more. And question 7 is, have you ever lost track of time when you're using digital devices? And most people answer yes.
Hello everyone, I'm James. And now at question 8 we have yes and no, and they're split in half. The question is, do you have difficulty concentrating on current tasks when you use electronic devices frequently? And for those who said yes, they're writing the homework and they want to check their phone for every 5 minutes. And for those who say no, they just shut down and turn on airplane mode and just work on their project or something. And I think it's pretty cool. For question 9, do you suffer from any internet addiction symptoms, including deterioration of work performance, disability to maintain academic performance, and dwindling relationships? Almost 3/4 says no, but actually, like, they don't procrastinate or something. They just use it normally, and they think when using their phone they have to still focus on their main current tasks as well. For question 10, we asked, have you ever kept phubbing when spending time with their friends? And the question is to ask if they want to keep their relationships face to face. And mostly it says yes, but they think that when being with their friends, they just don't know what to say anymore. They're not like, they meet every day, so they have no topics. They just go on with their social media and share funny videos or vines. But for those who says no, maybe they meet twice a week. Maybe they're girlfriends and boyfriends from different schools or something. And they want to spend more time with each other. And for question 11, what time of the day do you spend most on your phone? We have different varieties, but mostly they use their phones before bed, when lying on their bed and before sleep, and in the morning when they wake up. And the second largest part of the pie is in the evening when they get off class. They want to check their phone if there are any messages or something. Now for question 12, do you think you possess a different personality when interacting with friends online? I think this is one of the problems that parents and teachers want to ask us, if we harm people online or we be like very toxic. But actually people say no because they want to be like themselves, as social media can post pictures and videos and cameras everywhere. They want to be like a good person, so they keep their personalities straight and be who they are. Now for question 13, how old were you when you had your first phone with internet access? Sorry. Most of them answered they have their first phone in 7th grade to 9th grade. When they get on middle school, their parents think they have to contact with them every day after class. So I think that's actually when most of us have our first mobile phone. And for question 14, it's a yes, but it doesn't show it. It's like Do you check your phone first thing after you wake up and last thing before you go to bed? The funny part is, one of our interviewees replied, she likes to think that when she wakes up, she wants to have a lot of notifications on her phone, and that makes her very proud of herself. And actually, I think it's a very interesting answer. So the pie is yes and only yes. Now let's welcome Vincent.
Hello, I'm Vincent. So question 15 is, have you ever missed the stop while you're on public transportation because you're using your phone? So for this answer, we just want to know if our interviewees are really addicted with the internet or telephone use. But we know that 72%, which is 13 out of our 18 interviewees, and most of them say no, because I think this question is more like not just because protected, also that if you miss this up. Okay, next. Question 16 is, on a scale of 1 to 10, self-assess your level of internet addiction. For this question, it's quite interesting because of the people that I interviewed, and they're really guilty to tell me the answers, because most of them will say below 5. But then when I tell them, for me, I'm 8, and a lot of them will move to 9 or even higher. Yeah, but we only take the first response. So it's interesting to see that most people choose 6 to 9. Okay, for 17 is, have you ever tried to cut down the usage of phones? And if so, what was your methods? And most of them, they just give up, they say no. Yeah, that's about 14 of them, they just can't do it. And 4 of them, they give me an answer, such as screen lock, or go on airplane mode, or give it to their parents, or just find new hobbies. And one thing I find really interesting is one of my interviewee, he deleted the app, which I think is quite extreme. Yeah, he deleted Facebook at one point, so I couldn't contact him. I asked him why. He was like, oh, you know, I have Line, you can contact me there. I just trying to cut down my internet usage. So I think that was really interesting. So for question 18, it's overall, do you find the internet beneficial or harmful? And please explain your reasons in detail. So the answer are mostly beneficial, and some of them say both. But it's quite interesting that no one says it's harmful. Yeah. And for the people that say both, they give examples such as it's easier to connect with friends, because nowadays we have friends all over the area, all over the country. So sometimes it's necessary to use phones to connect with them and to see what's up with their life. And for the harmful, negative part, it's highly addictive and it's a waste of time. Okay, so for question 19 is, do you keep phubbing during gatherings with your family and friends? If so, how do your family and friends respond? So half of them, 9 of them, they just stay on their phones. I think it's because their family and friends don't really say anything, and some of them just try to stop because they tell them, and also take his or her phone. Okay, last question. How many times per day do you check your phone during work? And this is quite hard because we just want to know how many times you pick up your phone and use it. And this is quite subjective because sometimes I can pick up the phone and use it for 1 hour straight, but that will only count once. And sometimes I can look at it every 10 minutes, and so this is just give them the idea to maybe self-evaluate how much they use their phone and how important it is to them. So yeah, that's it. Okay, for conclusion, let's work on Donald.
And the team survey, we know that in this day and age, it is inevitable that people will immerse themselves in the internet because it is
quite useful and make things more easier. But in the same time, it is more often than not accompanied by the sense of loss when things go wrong. Like I just addicted to something and succumb to the things that I don't want to give up. So that is the question. So it is important for each individual to take proactive approach to eliminate the negative effect that we don't want the internet bring to us. So we have 5 suggestions that will wipe up the undesirable effects of the internet. And first of all, and it's the most important, that we should be aware of the time we spend on the internet. So we suggest each individual to take a few days to check your internet usage, like Wikiyoyo. So we have to know the time we actually spend on the internet. And the second suggestion is that because according to a survey, the majority of the interviewees, they tend to use their phones before they go to bed. So I suggest to turn on the bedtime mode when you are going to sleep. For example, I use a Google Pixel. And so it has the bedtime mode, so when I turn on this, it will block out all the notifications, so you won't be disturbed during your nighttime. And the third suggestion is that when we feel that we might be addicted to the internet, we have to consult with friends or instructors when the symptoms that indicate the internet addiction appear. Like we have to take ourselves to accountable, that we have to aware that we might be following the direction of internet addiction. And number 4 is because after the survey we guess that almost 90 to 80% people don't really understand that they might be addicted to the internet. So we just encourage our interview to cultivate an avocation that doesn't rely on the internet, such as play some instruments or go to gym, etc. That when you are doing that habit, you will focus your time on the internet, and it's quite helpful. And the 5th suggestion is just when you are working, you just turn it off, because it did help. So you won't be distracted by the other noise that can pop up on your phone. So that's it. That is our presentation. Thank you very much.
So that's our survey, and time for Q&A. Is there any questions you guys want to ask? Yeah?
I think that we both, our team have the same problem. That's the stance.
Stance.
Yes, sometimes when we present, we'll go like this.
Oh, so we should face the
Yeah,
audience.
face the audience instead of face the door.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Understanding posture, yeah. So I think I will make a comment on this later.
All right, thank you for the reminding.
Yeah, the good thing that Roger pointed out. Okay, good. So any more questions or comments? We still maybe begin with the first team, Team Moss.
Okay, thank you.
I think listen and confidence. Especially just.
Thank you, Carter.
Good. Thank you for the constructive comment. And any others? about some of us haven't spoken yet. Michael?
Well, overall, your presentation is pretty fluid. I really enjoy your presentation.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, thank you.
Are you confessing to
No.
We like the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Any others?
Any others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that your content is well organized and it gives a nice structure, and I really like the suggestion.
Suggestions, okay. Suggestion, don't suggestions. Yeah. I find it useful too.
Good. Any others?
Yeah.
Sure.
I like your voice.
You like my voice? Wait for my music presentation. Presenting today as well. Yeah.
Good. We're a follower already. Okay. All right. So then, thank you very much.
Thank you.